Hello everybody, this is Fragger here, and I'm back inside of NeuroVoider. Good times. I'm here to do the daily, which is going to be daily 15, I believe. Excuse me. I've not sat down and played this for a little bit, and that just mainly has to do with the fact that I've been super busy with some other stuff in my life, and work's been busy, life's been busy. So we're going to actually run around and actually do a very basic run today. And just kind of hope that everything goes pretty... Yeah, I should be able to do this actually. I should be able to go pretty well on this run so I can get back in the groove of this. And probably I'm going to go to like every 2 days or so. And oh my god, already. Every 2 days or so do a run in this. Because I got this, I got Flint Hook to play. I've got a Crawl that I want to start making a video or two for, but that's actually going to be mostly co-op from here on out. Ooh. There we go. Not taking a lot of... No, I'm not taking too much damage. I'm taking just enough just to... Whoa! Hello! That was not something I was expecting. Also, I think this is... I've had some content stored for a little while here on certain accounts that I've been slowly putting out, and ever since the first, I think the last NeuroVoider video was the last one before I got my new pop filter, which is why I'm a little louder, I'm a little more enthusiastic, so I don't have to worry about yelling inside of my microphone. I might peak a little bit much here and there, but I can always lower the volume, but it's not gonna wash out the audio too much and blow it out. Just mostly I just gotta keep an eye on my levels. But when I was first starting it off and mentioning I hope it holds out, the reason that I said that has to do with for some reason I started this up and I was just doing the intro and my capture crashed, which is the first time that's happened in like fucking months. Honestly, I think that's one of the first times it's happened since I have moved. So I'm very, very surprised that the thing actually happened. But me personally, I've been actually digging all the stuff I've been playing here lately. I've also been playing a lot of other games on the side. Oh my god, it crashed. Okay, speak of the devil, and it shall appear. You may notice that I am now paused a little bit ahead, and the time is a lot higher. Right after I had talked about what had happened with my capture, it happened. It crashed on me again. So, did a quick second to make sure that everything was nice and... fucking hell. Well, nice and recorded. So I wouldn't have to worry about anything not syncing correctly, but luckily the way that my setup is done, I have a nice view of everything. Oh man, I'm all burpy. Hold on. Interesting. And awesomely, the way that my setup is done is that I'm able to actually keep an eye on everything. So if that instance happens, I know about it instantly, and I was able to pause it without losing more than like a second worth of video. So that is a good thing. Why I said it like I'm a fucking politician there. It's a good thing. But it is. It's a good thing to be able to keep an eye on all my shit. But other than that, I've actually been having some good times here. I've been enjoying the games I've been playing on the side. Stuff ranging from I've been trying to wrap up Horizon Zero Dawn here, because for the most part I'm like almost done with that game. My god, this level's huge. Oh my god, there's a lot of enemies down there. Fuck. Over here should... Oh, woof. Horizon Zero Dawn, as I was saying, I'm pretty much on the on-ramp to being done in that game. I'm probably like, almost done with the storyline, and I've done a lot of the side stuff, so I'll get into that in here in a second, but we need to go over my new hotness. Just that, okay. Let's go look at my core competencies here. That makes everything go up. Nope. Nope. I just like how simple that is. That's kind of what I like. Yep. 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 Guns, 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 guns. So, left, right. Left is traditionally my BFG in my regard. So, what do? Hey, you're a single shot, so you're going to be there, and you are going to be my machine gun type. I actually have a lot of rocket launchers. Yeah, I'll keep with what I have on there, and I guess I'll keep with this. That's weird. Well, let's get rid of everything else. Let's try to get something with some high loot here. You should be good, graveyard. Next up for me is really going to be keeping an eye on my timer for the most part, mainly because I'm just spooked. Ah, fuck. Ooh, that got close. I'm wondering if it's maybe every 5 minutes or so. Because, yeah, if my capture card decides to start crashing on me every couple of minutes or so... Oh, there was a dude hiding in there and I couldn't see him. Cool. Then it's going to really put a kibosh on my day that I have planned. I also just want to say kibosh, because kibosh is a fun word. Triangle? This one? No? Yeah. For a second there, I forgot how buttons worked. That was me, that little pause there was me staring at the timer on my, my thing, clicking over to 5 minutes. I'm also going to take a quick look at my performance here, which, God, I love my computer these days. I don't think I've ever really talked about all the upgrades I've done to this thing in the past in the past year or so. But I remember having like the shittiest of computers back when I used to do a lot more streaming, which I do want to get back to doing. But right now I'm kind of holding out until CC and I are thinking of moving soon, and I want to have a nice office and desk for the video production stuff, and I want to do it in there as opposed to I'm right now sitting on a couch on a coffee table with my monitors on there, and it's not the most comfortable streaming setup. It does its job, but I've never been a fan of it. Oh, got it. Okay, let's see if it holds out this time. Down, 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 up, up, up. Okay, it happened again. I did research. I updated software. Hopefully, it doesn't do it a third time. Okay, other classes. Nope. That's not a significant change in the rate. I actually need to do it this way. Said Dolby Digital not supported. Okay. Welcome back from the last big pause. This time, I decided to reinstall the software completely. It took me a little while to do a little bit of research, look things up, and then I got bored and looked at Twitter for a bit. Thus is my life in general. It's frustrating, to say the least. Because usually I can actually get a run in this game pretty quickly. Yeah, that's worth it. I usually get a run in this done pretty quickly, so I can move on and play. Because there's other games that I really wanted to sit down and play as well today, but I'm just trying to do this to get in the groove for the morning. And lo and behold, here we are. A couple of hours later. Fuck it. Let's see if we can beat another level without it doing anything. We will see. Let's hope. I'm hoping beyond hope. It's amazing how much just a bunch of crashes really just take the wind out of my sails completely, because I'm all like, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna play these games, it's gonna be great. Then crash, crash, crash. Like, it's really not the fault of the game, it's really the fault of my software here, making my life just a little bit tough for me here. I'm scratching my head for a second there. That was pretty much my death there. Holy shit. I took way too much damage there. That was half me being lazy, half me being just frustrated in general right now. And I really can't I can't phase out like that right now. Now in the middle of a run here. Especially on a run like this, or it's not a super important run. It's more important in terms of what it means just to get another run done than anything else. I haven't done a run in this game in a little while. That's what I was trying to get at, is that the run itself isn't important. No run is ever important. Oh, who am I kidding? I love this game. Angry face. Okay. We have a boss fight coming up. No, nothing really sparked my interest on that one. But I do think that, oh my god! What is happening? Okay, so it has been a long-ass time since I was recording this. What has happened is that I had to completely reinstall a whole bunch of stuff and keep this thing in suspension in the process. So, while I'm doing this boss fight, I almost said frostbite, that's funny. I will explain some of what I had to go through to get everything to work. So, after Crash, something like, what was that, fucking 6 or something? I decided to really take a look at what could possibly be going on here. And what really boiled down to it is that, so for anyone who doesn't know me very well, I actually, I worked for a number of years as a support technician. I would work either in the field, or I would work in an office, but I would usually be in-house support. So figuring this shit out was my job for a number of years. And to a certain extent, this still kind of is, but not as much as it used to be. My god, these guys are kicking my ass. Better fucking win this fight after all this shit I have been through. I'm not getting a lot of health drops, which is what's making this very difficult. They're gonna start dropping health now, I imagine. Yeah. I'm getting tossed around here. It's really the size of the arena is kicking my ass. There we go. And this. Hold on a second here. There we go. So, what I ended up doing was just a quick recap, because I need to do this for me. I imagine that some of this is going to be edited together to the point where it's going to seem like minutes have passed, and I'm going to be talking about things like I haven't talked about them for a while. Because honestly, I started recording this, oh god, I think I have a spot in the original recording when I was loading up the game. So I'm thinking I started recording this thing around 10, and it's getting on 1. To the point where I actually had to stop recording my audio, because I actually had my audio recording for a lot of this. So I could, no, that should do it. Yeah. So that I would be able to very easily sync everything up and not have to worry too much about, whoa, that's a lot of drops actually. Not have to worry so much about other things. And in the process, I ended up burning a lot of footage. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to go over some of the recent things I've done to this computer, so maybe some of you out there can kind of learn something from this and learn about the process of figuring some of this shit out. Oh, thank God, I got a much better thing. And for the most... That's a good animation. For the most part, the way that it usually works with these kind of processes is, of course, the idea of you remove everything that doesn't make sense and wait till you find the thing that makes sense. And for me, I had a very strong feeling that it was video related. Whenever you're dealing with an issue like this where things aren't recording correctly and you have a thing that is putting extra stress on your video card and things crash, then odds are it's your video card. Granted, it could obviously not be a video card. I've had a couple of systems in my day, back when I worked as a technician at Circuit City. I had one computer come in, the person's like, oh, this thing is boot cycling. And traditionally, boot cycle, which, for those of you who do not know what I am referencing, you're trying to start your computer, and it keeps trying to load Windows, and it won't load Windows. Like, it goes like, I'm loaded Windows, and then it just restarts, and it loops. It's a boot cycle. Traditionally speaking, that means your operating system is corrupted in some shape, way, or form. Your INIs to allow it to boot are not working correctly. So, traditionally speaking, what you want to do is you want to reinstall, or you want to throw those into there. Well, this was back in the day before Windows 10 kind of handled that for you, in case it wasn't booting correctly. But you would want to replace them with default ones, and then the computer would kind of figure things out from there and boot correctly. At least allow you to get into the operating system. I had one system come in that had that issue, and, you know, I did that, and it still didn't work. I'm like, oh, shit, this could be a legitimate problem with the operating system, things like that. Turns out, it was actually a busted modem in a PCI slot that was actually poisoning the system and was causing it to crash upon boot when it was trying to pull from the... when it was trying to pull from the modem in order to try to do a boot off of network and whatnot. So, as I said, sometimes those instincts are good, but it's always the process of remove everything and see what works. But this time I had a very strong feeling it was the graphics card. For anyone who does not know, I replaced my graphics card, about 2-3 months ago now, when Cece and I picked up an Oculus Rift, Which, those of you who do not know, yes, I actually have an Oculus Rift and a high-end PC these days, so I'm actually able to play and record Oculus Rift games. We haven't done anything with that yet, mainly because I don't feel like I have a decent enough setup to talk about them right now. We have a decent setup to play them personally, but not to show them off. If that makes sense. At least I think it does. Oh, that was a lot of hate down there. Oh, that could have killed me. Oh, thank God. So this process today was so the technical part of my brain said, first things first, you restart the program that is giving you the issue. So did so, no avail. Then I checked to see there's an update. There was an update, updated it, no fix. Then I uninstalled and reinstalled the program, and in the process, it looked a little different, which to me said that I didn't get a correct update. Or maybe there was an update afterwards, but traditionally speaking, this software, I keep saying traditionally speaking, and I'm sorry about repeating myself in that regard. I'm in technical mode, so I'm using my more technical jargony stuff that I usually say whenever I'm working. But usually, when that happens, whenever you're updating, using Elgato HD60, and I'm using the Game Capture HD software, they tend to give the entire software at once, and that allows you to fully update it. Oh, that actually, I'd rather have the recharge higher. That allows you to actually, sorry, that allows you to get all your updates at once. And this time, I did, and it didn't at the same time. All of the iconography for it stayed the same, but the software itself changed. It was weird. So, when I did the, yay, a nuke, let's play with this nuke. Then I'm like, well, maybe it's my graphics card. And then this is when things get wacky and stuff that is all new if you haven't been listening this whole time. So I'm running an XFX RX 480 8GB model is what I am currently running as a graphics card. This thing is awesome and I love it to death. This is not an advertisement in any shape, way, or form. This is coming from someone who was able to pick this thing up for like $250. And it was super worth the $250. I'm able to actually do a lot of PC stuff that I used to not be able to do for the longest time. Oh my God, this thing is starting to get a little long in the tooth there. Delicious. I forgot I had it for there we go. Jesus, I forgot that I haven't really talked about that thing. So the new Catalyst software, which is what AMD and ATI use to support the graphics card, is what sorry, I lost my train of thought there, and I'm trying to, this nuke is not really acting like I want it to right now. There we go. I am missing by like a mile here. So the Catalyst software is what handles it, and the new Catalyst software, as opposed to the older ones, which I'm more used to, handled it in the way that it would just kind of, it wouldn't really let you know that things are different, but it would let you know that you need to update your software. Now this one does occasionally, and anyone who is not big into old school PC gaming like I am, or how you used to have to handle graphics cards, is that you never update a graphics card unless you have to. Software is not something that you want to update all the time on a graphics card unless you are playing the hottest and greatest games as they are coming out. Mainly because a lot of times they will come out with a patch for a graphics card that all it really does is... Okay, so let's say a new Battlefield comes out, and ATI has a contract with it. They're going to obviously make sure that all their higher-end cards work great on the graphics card. I'm saying Battlefield specifically because I actually saw Battlefield 1 add like 18 fucking times while I was trying to update this. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to make sure that that cards are going to be running the game at their peak efficiency, to the point where a lot of times when these new games come out, you'll get that game for free. So what ends up happening is that they will prioritize making that game run the best. And a lot of times, and I'm not saying this happens every time, other games will stop working great. It just has to do with the way that it allocates, and it may interpret games a little bit differently, which is why more modern graphics cards have profiles. This allows them to say, like, hey, I'm playing this game and not this game, and it allows it to work correctly. Now, the old adage of never ever update a graphics card unless you absolutely have to still holds true, and I still abide by that today. So when it wasn't working correctly, I updated it. Then this happens. So a little bit more about my computer setup. So my primary function on my computer is to make content. I have other projects I'm working on, but majority of the content that I create is video based. So a lot of what I have is geared around that. It's just the way that I do things on my computer. I don't game on it that much. I do occasionally, especially with the Oculus Rift stuff. Being fascinating and fun and new, I will play a couple of games on there occasionally, not all the time though. So I don't have the highest end in terms of RAM, and I don't have the highest end processor. For the record, I have a 4650K i5, which is a phenomenal CPU, actually. I don't think it sucks that its L3 is not the best, but, you know, here nor there. That's an angry-looking lead over there. So, in the end, I was like, you know, I need to update my software. Is what I was trying to get at. Oh, no, okay, that's where it was. So, I have a lot of hard drive space. So right now, internally in my machine, I have a 128 gig SSD. I'll get to that in a minute. I have a 1 terabyte older hard drive in there from back on my old days of creating content on the old YouTubes. And I have a brand new 3 terabyte Western Digital hard drive that I picked up at work for about, fuck, what did I pick this thing up for, like 60 bucks? And I was like, oh, hell yeah. For the record, it is a newer one. It is not an older WD Blue. It's probably at the most like a 2-year-old hard drive, 5400, but it still runs phenomenally well. So there was no reason for me to, for me to be worried about it not running fast, because it runs perfectly fine. And it's actually freed me up quite a bit from older restraints in terms of capturing. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Let me just initiate this next area of dudes. And then I will be more apt to talk a little bit more, because that kind of kicked my ass. It's going down the wrong escalator side, and that kind of killed me, almost killed me there. So, and then I have multiple other hard drives for various types of archivery work. So in the end, I have a lot of hard drive space. I think right now in total, I have the 3 terabyte. Okay, let me go over this quickly. I have a 3 terabyte, a 1 terabyte, another 1 terabyte, a 2 terabyte, and 2 500 gig hard drives in my 128 gig SSD. That's my current hard drive situation. Now, the SSD I bought on a whim about a year and a half, 2.5 years ago now. And that is probably where some of my problems are currently residing. The SSD is getting a little bit too long in the tooth, 128 gigs for the work that I do. Even though I make sure that everything is set to other hard drives, anyone who has any semblance of the way that software works is that it's still good trying to pull from your main drive no matter what you do. So in the end, I did my very, very best to remove stuff from that drive, and I try to keep on it. But the only major things I actually have on there are a couple of programs, other than my Adobe Suite, which is actually on there just because it makes sense for it to be on my fucking SSD, does it not? And also, stuff like Steam, and my capture software is on there too. Sorry. But all the info needed for those things and all the storage for those things are on different hard drives entirely. traditionally speaking, I usually use now my 1 terabyte is kind of in a state of flux. I haven't had the time to sit down and start moving things over and give it a new assignment, for lack of a better word. Hold on a second here while I am doing a quick bit of gun management here. Ooh, sexy. Ooh. Damage per second and EP per second is actually going to be... It's a little tighter, so I'd rather use this. But I'm actually going to want to boost that thing up there. Okay, so when I was doing an update for my graphics card, I'm like, okay, let's do this update. And it said that it had an error. So I was like, oh, what's this error? And then I look, and I had, oh, what did I have? 500 gigs on my SSD left. And I'm like, oh, there's the error. Cool. So I had to uninstall, reinstall my graphics driver. In the meantime, I'm getting incredibly frustrated because I wanted to get this run done, and the way the PS4 works is, you know what, I'll actually give a quick demonstration. So let's say I wanted to watch a video right now. I could hop over to, oh fuck it, let's just go over to Netflix for the meantime, and it will pop this up, that you can suspend the game, and then we'll boot into it. I'm not going to actually go into my Netflix. I just want to give that quick demonstration. Now, let me just get back into NeuroVoider here. Okay, so let's say I wanted to boot up Flint Hook, a game I wanted to practice. That happens. So there's literally no way... Hold on a second, let me just do a quick resync, just to make sure. Down, 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 up, up, up. So that was what I just did there, is I got a... It popped up on the screen that there was a screen resolution change, and that was just to make sure that it didn't fuck with my recording, like it actually has in the past. So, it would not let me update my graphic drivers. It was a partial update that did not fix any of my problems. It also fucked with a couple other things in the meantime. So what I ended up having to do was completely uninstall, reinstall my graphic drivers. Then I had an issue with that, and then etc, etc, etc. So all of that is to say, always double check all of your things, and always try to work from the top down. Oh, fuck me. In terms of when you're doing PC diagnoses. And I would really like to pause here so I can bring up my Twitter and thank somebody. I actually just thought about saying this. For Salgilexion, I'll probably put the name up on the screen here. Thank you for mentioning drivers. I was in the process of thinking that, but then seeing somebody else say, look at your drivers, made me go, you know what, I really should take a look at my drivers. And it was to kind of put me on the path of getting that done. So now that I am in a much better position to actually get content done today, hopefully. Fuck, that hurt. That hurt a lot. So, hope you guys all kind of enjoyed that random-ass talk about PC repair, my new machine, and the way that my brain works, and actually hearing me transition back into, like, my what I like to call work voice. When I go less jokey, talk a little faster, and do some other stuff too. It also allowed me to talk for 20 straight fucking minutes. My god, am I a nerd about these kind of things. I hope you guys actually found that kind of interesting. I'm taking a breath here. Actually, I'm going to grab this drink. Brought to you by Mountain Dew Spiked. By the way, they're really fucking good. Mm. Delicious. That's a huge HP difference. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, my toes felt weird. That is a sentence you probably don't like to hear from a person that is talking, is, my toes currently feel a little weird. Good for you. Okay, all items, and now we're gonna do this. Worth it. How's my vision doing here? Let's boost you up a little bit. I got the money, alright? I got the money. So I love NeuroVoider. I want to talk about why I haven't been playing a lot of it. And that's just free time. So, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I think, I've already established why. I probably don't remember if I've said something or not. But it's just been free time. I haven't really had the desire or the ability to play games that like this. Well, I love NeuroVoider. I'm currently in the process of trying to get my 50th Platinum on my PS4, which is Horizon Zero Dawn is what I'm shooting for. Hold on a second here. There we go. Knocked it down to half at least. Sorry, this boss fight just took a turn for the difficult, so I'm kind of paying attention now. There we go. It's definitely one of those fights where I really don't care about pacing myself correctly. Okay, let's get in there and just melt it. There we go. Shit, missed. Why? Rockin'. I think he patched it to give boss drops to have a little bit more shit in them because I feel like it meant a lot more stuff. But I've been working very steadily and hard on getting Horizon Zero Dawn done so I can work on a bunch of other games because I had a couple of reviews that I really want to do. Specifically, I've got like Full Throttle and the Silver Case that I really want to talk about. But I haven't really been able to dig too deeply into them just for the simple fact that while I can play these games, I know I could probably platinum them very quickly, and I want to do a full, excuse me, talk about doing platinum runs and whatnot in those games, as opposed to just to say, hey, this game is pretty fucking cool, you should get it. Which is kind of where I'm currently at with the Full Throttle remaster, is just get the game. It's really good. Same with Flint Hook. Flint Hook is in the same regard, but I'm actually doing the Flint Hook run as soon as I'm done with this. So, it's one of those things where we get the power to do this. Let's do it. So, I'm going to move away from that topic for a minute here just because I'm doing a self-destruct, and I'm going to go a little more basic with my talking. So, don't expect me to continue my conversation. Okay. Thank you. So I'm trying not to take too much damage right now. I'm also trying not to eat up my... Yeah, I'm going to do it now anyways. Get him. Good. So if I do that right, then I'm good. I just need to not be hanging out in the middle, like right in front of a yellow, like I just did on that... in the middle of that fight there. So as I was saying about games like that, is that I like talking about the game in full. It's been at least like, whew, oh my god, it's been like since forever since I've actually done a run on Full Throttle. And that's how we die. Me talking about Full Throttle in the middle of NeuroVoider. Let me put down the controller here and address this video here. So I hope that this rambling, super weird, disjointed mess has been at least somewhat entertaining for you guys today. Mainly because it's been the trials and tribulations of a content creator trying to make content over 4 fucking hours. At least, I think it's been 4, however long it's been. So I hope you all had a great time, and I will see you all later.